Hi everyone. I hope I'm audible. So let me just check once. Okay. So let's get started. So today we'll be discussing about the branches of biology. Okay. So before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology and the Telegram channel that is Unacademy ICSE and ISC both. So this link you can find in the description box. So click on the link and join this channel for updates regarding the classes. So also we'll be conducting a special classes on Unacademy platform where you can learn from your favorite educator for free. So these are basically free classes that are conducted on Unacademy platform for you all. Okay, so engage with educators via poll. So we'll be conducting a quiz or poll war basically, and so you have an option to choose just like a Menti quiz that happens here on YouTube. Okay, so same way we have an option to conduct a quiz. So we'll be conducting a quiz, and we'll be sharing the leaderboard at the end of the session so that you can know your rank and compete with your friends. Hi Prince, good evening. Then clear your doubts in the live special classes. So basically we'll be conducting the special classes which are absolutely free, where everyone will have access. So there is a question tab, so you can use that question tab to you have an option to attach an image and type in your question also, so you can use that. So this is during a live session and the educator will be getting a notification and will be clearing your doubt. So now for the top special classes, you can visit the link in the description. So this is about the Unacademy subscription feature. So basically you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be there. Okay. Then top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. Just a second. There is... Yeah, all right. So there is Unacademy platform, so we'll be conducting all the special classes. Then you will have access to all the courses. So basically different educators will come up with different courses, so you will have access to all the courses once you take a subscription. Then top educators of India are going to take the classes in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. Regular doubt clearing session will be done, that is about after about every 3 session. The fourth session will be our doubt clearing session. So whatever doubts you have related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubt in this session. All right, then complete syllabus will be covered, mentorship and guidance is given, study material is given, the practice tests are given, live tests are given, and also you will have access to batch courses. So basically we have a batch in English, we have a batch in English. So once you take the subscription, so you will have access to English as well as a English batch. So according to your convenience, you can go for any of these batches. Okay. Then there is daily practice section, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series are also conducted. So this one is about the Unacademy test. So that is UNSAT, Unacademy National Scholarship Admission Test, which is conducted offline. So this is an offline test for IIT JEE, NEET UG as well as class 9 and 10. So you all can take part in this, which is conducted across 40 cities. So that is June 4th and 5th. Then up to 90% scholarship worth rupees 150 crore for Unacademy centers and online subscription. So basically you will be getting a 90% scholarship for the subscription as well as offline classes. Then top 40 rankers will stand a chance to win an iPhone. All right. Then not just one or two. So basically top 40 are selected in this. So basically you just have to do is enrollment. Okay. So test takers get an academy t-shirt as well. So in that case you can enroll now for the same. So the enrollment fee is basically 199. Okay, and when you use the code VANIYT, so let me just showing this. So this is the code VANIYT. So with this code you will be getting 10% discount on the subscription. So last day to register for this one is June 2nd. So if you are planning to write, so you can go with this unsat. Okay, so you all can, and the link you will find in the description. So link you can find there in the description. So go to the link and find the description basically. I mean, yeah, so go to the description, find the link and click on that link. Okay, just a second. Good afternoon. Aim to yes. So here we'll get started with the topic. Just a second. Alright, so this is about the unsat. So you all can register for this unsat before June 2nd itself. And here is the subscription amount. So that is basically we conduct plus classes on Unacademy platform. So for that basically you can use this code, that is VANIYT, to get 10% discount on the subscription. So now for 12 months, so you can try with 12 months because this is the very beginning of your class 9. So you can go with the 12 months of subscription. So for 12 months, it is 17,250, and with the code VANIYT, so you will be getting a 10% discount on the subscription. So you can also try with 9 or 6 months or 3 months, so completely depending on your convenience. Or if you are planning for class 10, so maybe you can go with the 24 months of subscription as well. So let's get started. So that is branches of biology. So just a second, so I'll drink some water. Aim 2 is in which class? Alright, so let's get started with the branches of biology that we have here today. So it is mainly we'll be discussing about the botany. Alright, so we'll be discussing about the zoology, like what exactly is zoology, then what exactly is human biology. Okay, so in this case biology, when we mention, so this is divided into several branches. Okay, so there are many branches. So you will be studying the marine organism, you will be studying the organism that live in extreme conditions, like salty condition, high acidic condition. So then you can find a condition where it is too cold or maybe too hot. So basically you can find organisms in everywhere, like every part of the world. So in that case, so we have we have parted, we have made a different branches in biology, so that specifically understand, we will understand specifically which part we are studying. Okay, so in that case there is a botany which will represent that. So we are studying the plants. Okay, so whenever plant study is considered, so that is called as a botany. Alright, so now what exactly is this one? So plant study when we mention, so this is botany when we mention. So this is mainly for the plants. Okay, so under plants what we will be studying, like what is the cellular organization. So this is a cell, will be cell, the tissue, the different organs. Okay, and what is the type of the body, so whether there is a root system, shoot system produced. Okay, so whether there is well developed root, shoot, leaf and all you can find, so that you will check. All right, and then whether this is a plant or a tree or a herb, shrub. So basically you will find all that. So in that case, herb, shrub, so different classification is done. So whenever we say plant in general, so the plants in general, so basically we'll be studying in detail. So in that case it is anatomy also. Okay, so we'll be looking at the anatomy and we'll be looking at the morphology as well. Okay, so anatomy is studied, morphology is studied. So what is anatomy? So internal structure study. Okay, so internal structural study is done, so that is anatomy. The morphology is external study only. Okay, so externally, external study without dissection. All right, so this is without the dissection. And here a dissection has to be done in anatomy. Okay, so dissection has to be done and then we'll be studying a different organism. So in that case it comes under. So now for this, now botany when we mention, so we'll be studying the different plants. So moving on to zoology. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. Alright, so in case of zoology, the study of animals is considered. So what exactly study of animals here? So animals are being studied, like what is the type of defense mechanism that is there, the type of cells, the arrangement of tissues. Okay, so all that will be studied here under the animals category. So in that case, so when we mention about the zoology, the study of animals is done. So study of animals, basically again there is anatomy after taking a cross section, and then there is a morphology, so that is just the external study. So it can be internal organ or it can be external organ. So just the external study is done, so that we call as a morphology. So external characteristics, appearance, or external appearance, what is that? So that is the morphology. Then also some of the examples I can give you when we mention for animal basically. Okay, so what is the defense mechanism that you find in animals? All right, so when we study under a zoology, so let's say this. So now this is under the zoology. Okay, so under zoology what do we see? So basically it is all about the animals. So now when we mention about animals, so they have a different defense mechanism. Okay, so what is that defense mechanism is she, like seen, and what is the cell, what is the tissue? So now some examples if I have to mention, let's say bird. Okay, so now when we mention about a bird, so bird will, like group of birds are there. So if any new bird comes or any new living organism that enters their territory, so all of the birds will start to coo. Okay, so they'll start cooing around and they'll make sure that the other person who has entered, so in that case they'll make sure that by singing, so this territory belongs to us, so don't dare to get inside. So that is how the defense mechanism you can see in case of animals. Okay, so specifically birds, so they'll start cooing, and once they start cooing, so they'll just announce that this territory belongs to us and please don't enter. So every living organism when we mention, so they have one or the other defense mechanism where they will fight, so they'll fight for their living area and other things. So now this is only with respect to birds, but same way, so many different organisms. So if you know about the squid, sepia, so I'll just okay, so this is for a sepia. Okay, so sepia or a squid when we mention. All right, so what exactly squid does is, so squid will announce hi, hi fact wala bhai. Okay, Alright, so in that case, the sepia which is there, so sepia is basically a squid. Okay, so this is squid. So what it does is, so this is having a different defense mechanism. So in that case, it is having a black ink in its body. Okay, so that is mainly in the anal part. So whenever predator comes to eat the sepia, that is squid. Okay, so whenever predator comes to eat this one, so in the water it is going to release that black ink. Okay, so the whole water will turn into black, and the predator cannot see that what exactly is happening. Like, since all the water will turn into black, so predator cannot see a squid, and squid will escape from this predator. So basically it is saving itself from that type of a defense mechanism. So now when we mention about the zoology, so we'll be studying mainly about the cell, the tissue, the organ system, then their defense mechanism. So how are they going to survive, like how well are they adapted to this environment. So everything, every detail about the animal we consider under the zoology here. Alright, so here now with respect to human biology. So human biology is basically the study of a man. Okay, so study of a man is done, so that is as a living organism and his relationship with other living organisms. So what kind of a relationship that the human might be having with the other living organism. So in that case, human biology, when we mention, so it is basically a study of a man as a living organism and his relationship with other living organism. So how well are we, treating other animals. So it is basically a study of a man as a living organism and his relationship with other living organism. So in that case, how well are we treating other living organisms. So how are we treating a plant, how are we treating other, like there are many pets that we use. So basically how exactly are we treating them. So now in that case, the study of a man and the human society. So this is study of a man and the human society. So that means the man and man interaction. So the relation that is there between the a man, like human being. So in that case, so that will be studied in detail, and that is basically comes under the anthropology. So anthropology, when we mention, anthropos is man, logos is study. So study of a man is done, so that is the anthropology. So in that case, the plants are studied in botany, the animals are studied in zoology, and here you can find a human biology, basically human nature is studied. So here with respect to this, so this is actually a lizard, a type of a lizard which actually having a particular defense mechanism. So it will swell up the glands which are here, and it will create the aggressive look for itself, so making it look aggressive, and the predator who is coming to maybe feed on this one, so it will try to create and maybe scare the predator. So that is a type of a defense mechanism that might be there. All right, so moving on to the next one, so that is in terms of special groups of organisms. Okay, so there is a bacteriology, there is a virology, so there is a mycology, there is entomology, there is ichthyology, herpetology, and ornithology. So now this is a special group of organisms. So why do we call them as a special group of organisms? So you all know that the insect, okay, the fishes, the snakes, lizards, the birds, everything. Okay, so all of these are considered under animals itself. Okay, so these are all animals itself, which is actually a part of a zoology itself. All right, now we have a bacteriology. Okay, so which is not an animal, but this bacteria belongs where? So this belongs to kingdom Monera. All right, then virus. So virus we have not kept in any kingdom yet, because this behaves as living organism, this behaves as a non-living organism. So in that case we have not kept it in any category yet, because when it is living inside a living organism, so this will be a living one. When it is on the surface, like any outside, so be it a table, be it a computer, anywhere, okay, so basically this will behave as a non-living one. So in that case, so we are not sure, so we have to come up with a new kingdom for this virus, and has to be placed in a new kingdom. So in that case, so virus is not kept in any kingdom, but the bacteria is placed in a monera. Fungi is placed where? So fungi is actually placed in the kingdom fungi itself. All right, so that is a mycota, or the all the mucor related, so those are all fungi itself. Then other than that, so monera is there, one more is protista. So protista you will study in further classes, so that is the another kingdom that you will study. So monera, protista, fungi, plantae. So plantae also, since here specifically that is not there, but in the previous slide, so this is botany is given, no? So there you can see the plantae kingdom is also there, okay. So both the p's are left here, that is plant and protista. So rest of them, that is monera, fungi and animals, so that is all of them are studied. So now let's see each one of them one by one. So what is this picture now, and what is this picture? Any idea? Any of you? No idea? So what exactly is that? All right. So this one, what you see here, so it is a cocci. All right. So that is cocci. So let me just explain it here itself. So why exactly do we call that as a cocci? Okay. All right. So the spherical bacteria, when you find, okay, so this is a coccus. Okay, so this one is a coccus. So when two of the spherical bacteria you find, so that is a diplococci. Okay, so this one is a diplococci. But the same bacteria you find it in a cluster, not as a chain. So let's say, so this is, this is forming a cluster, random cluster formation you can see in there. So this is basically a staphylococci. Okay, so this is what? This is a staphylococci. So in that case, and the other one, so you can find a chain. All right, so chain arrangement of cocci you can see. So this chain arrangement is basically a streptococci. So this is a streptococci. So depending on how the arrangement of these bacteria is done, a specific name is given. So cluster, it is a staphylo. So I'll just label this. So now this is basically for a cluster formation. So this is basically for a chain formation. When these are two in number, so the name is given as such. Okay. So now based on that, the name is given. So same way here, what is mentioned, the bacteria. Here what they have given is a cocci bacteria. So this is a coccus since it is present individually. Okay, so this is only one is present, so that means it is a singular term, and cocci is a plural term. So same way we have a bacillus, which is actually a rod shaped one. So in that case we have a rod shaped bacteria. So this rod shaped bacteria is called as a bacillus. Okay, so this is a bacillus. So same way we have two of them arranged. So in that case, so this could be bacilli. Okay, so this is what? This is bacilli. All right. So same way many of them might be forming a structure, like cluster formation might be there. So that can be staphylobacilli. Okay, so this can be with respect to staphylo, and based on a chain. So this is anyway gonna vary, so we cannot say that. So in that case it is, it is forming a chain. So in that case we can call it as a streptobacilli. All right, so that is depending on how they are placed. So now every shape, the size, what exactly, what type of a disease it is causing. So each and every detail is considered. So that is in a bacterial study. So study of a bacteria is done, so that we call as the bacteriology. So we have two more shapes we'll discuss. So that is with respect to vibrio. So there is a vibrio, which is a comma shaped bacteria. Okay, so what is this? This one is a comma shaped bacteria. So that is a vibrio cholerae. Okay, so I'll just write the example for this one. So this is the vibrio cholera. Okay, so this is a vibrio cholerae. So the comma shaped bacteria it is. So same way we have one more. So that is a spirilla. Okay, so this one is a spirillum. So this is also a type of a bacteria. So as such we can find different bacterias in there, which are gonna vary in their size and shape, and based on their arrangement a particular name is given. So here virology. So what is this one? So now this is actually the virus. Okay, so this is what? This is virus. So now when we mention a virus, let me just explain it here itself. Okay, so now when we mention about the virus, so in case of viruses you can find many, there is a virus. So let's say it will have the the antigen present on the surface. So this could be the antigen, so covered within that protein covering. So this is basically a protein covering. So this whole thing is made of many of the proteins as such. So protein covering is there here. Okay, so this protein covering when we mention, so here this is there, one second, and this protein covering will act as the genetic material. Okay, so not the protein covering, sorry, this is the protein covering, and here inside this you can find the DNA or the RNA that is present. All right, so this DNA or RNA which could be present, so that can act as the genetic material. Okay, so viral study, study of a viruses, so that we call as a virology. Like what is the behavior, how is it going to affect an individual, so that can be considered under the virology. Okay, so now this pandemic basically, which is actually a COVID-19, and that is the coronavirus itself. So in that case, we have come across many of the rules and guidelines, what to do, what not to do, so that we do not get in contact with this particular virus. So in that case, so study of each and every detail about the virus will give us the detail, how the protein is present or how the structural arrangements are done. So that is the virology. All right, so moving on to the next one. So that is mycology. So what exactly is mycology now? So mycology is study of fungi. So fungal study is done. So what does the fungal study tell us? So let me just erase this. Okay, so this was about the virus. Okay, so this is what? This is actually virus itself. Okay, now fungus when we have to mention. So in case of fungi, so you can see fungi having, let's say this is a bread onto which the fungi is growing. Okay, so this is a bread onto which this fungi growth you can see. And now when we mention about this, so you can see basically, one second. So which color shall I take for a fungus? Okay, anyway, I'll take the blue one. Okay, so in that case, let's have a look at this. So there is a formation of a hyphae. Then you can see a growth like this. So this is a fungi. Okay, so having a mycelia spread on the surface, you can see the septa there. All right. So here in that case, this we call as a hypha. Okay, so this whole thing when we mention, so this is a mycelium. So all of them together, so this all of this structure together, so we can consider it as a mycelium. So in that case you can find a hypha, the mycelia and other things. So this study, arrangement, the structural arrangement, like what type of a disease it is causing. Then other than that, what is it made up of, the cellular content, the cell wall content, the chitinous cell wall is there. So each and every detail about the myco is studied, that is fungi is studied. Entomology is study of insects. So insects are studied in detail here. So that is, whether they are joint footed, or how exactly, like what exactly is the defense mechanism that they have. And other than that, in which category of the insect does it belong, that is arthropod itself, there are many classes. Okay, so that each and every detail is considered and the study will be done. Okay, now ichthyology is basically study of fishes. Okay, so study of fishes is done, so that is the ichthyology. Herpetology is study of lizards, so that is snakes, etc. Then ornithology is study of birds. Okay, so bird study is done, so that is the ornithology. So in all these cases, just a second. Yeah, so here herpetology, so lizard, snake, different categories. So in the previous slide I had added, so this is a lizard. Okay, so we have various categories in the lizard itself. So each and every detail, like what is the defense mechanism type that might be there, all right, and how exactly the event is done. So each and every detail about the snake, the lizard, everything is studied. So that comes under the herpetology. So ichthyology is for study of fishes, like whether this one is a bony fish, whether this fish is a cartilaginous fish. So each and every detail here also is considered and the study is done. So to give us an ideology, like what type of structural arrangement is there, and now when we discover a new type of fish, so depending on if it is having a bony type, it is kept in the bony category. So if it is having a cartilaginous body, so that is kept in the cartilaginous category. So based on that the classification is done. Okay, so now other than that, so there is ornithology. So this is about the study of birds. So there, the body, the airline body, which is basically making them suitable for the flight in the air, like fly in the air. So that is possible because they have a pneumatic bones. Okay, so their bones are actually pneumatic bones. So that is the lightweight bones can be there. So this we call as a pneumatic bones. Okay, so bones are pneumatic in nature. So that means the bones are hollow, and because of their hollow nature of a bone, so they are actually lightweight, and they can carry this air. So there is a air, one second, so they can fly easily in the air. All right, so moving on to next one, so anatomy. So in the very beginning I told you guys, like what exactly is anatomy. So anatomy is internal structure study is done. So that is the study of gross structure of an organism, so that is seen as seen in a dissection. So when a dissection is taken, okay, so when we take a cross section, or when we cut, so it can be a human organ or it can be a plant tissue. So basically we are making a cut into that plant tissue and the study is done. So in that case, anatomy will tell us about the study of basically the internal structures only after taking the dissection. So whenever we have to look at the internal structural arrangement, so that is when you will be taking a dissection and observing it. But the morphology here, what you see, so it is the study of form and structure of plants and animals. So in that case, it includes basically the understanding and interpretation of the structure. So what is that meaning? So it is both external and internal. So like, many times when we think about, like morphology, when we mention, so usually what comes to our mind, so it is only the external study. Okay, but yes, it is the external study itself, but internal organs are also studied externally. Okay, so in that case, so understanding and interpretation of a structure, so that is both external and internal. So external organs are studied and internal organs are also studied. So their study, that is without any dissection. So this is basically without dissection. Okay, so in that case we call this particular thing as a morphology. All right, so here this is without dissection, so this is with dissection. Yes, any doubt? Is this clear? Then there is histology. So histology will, tell us about the tiny bits of the body. So that is as seen with the help of the compound microscope. So just a second. Alright. So in that case, you can see here in terms of approach on studying it. So there is a histology, okay, so which will give us an ideology about the tiny bits of the body. So now this is a body, okay. So what exactly is body made up of? So it is, cell is the basic unit. So many cells together will form the tissue. So study of a tissue will be, considered as a histology here. So minute structure or tiny bits of a body as seen with the help of the compound microscope. So here we have the another one. So that is cytology, physiology, embryology, taxonomy, ecology, biogeography, paleontology, evolution. So we have different terms here. Okay. So any idea what exactly is cytology? And what is this picture say? And what does this picture say? Any of you? No idea. All right. One second. Yeah. So in this case, the cytology, when we mention, so it is basically a study of a structure and function of animal and plant cells. So study of animal, so study of plant. So this is done. So that is how exactly they are done. So in that case, the study of structure and function of animal and plant cells. So how the cells are arranged. So basically cyto, when we mention, it is a cell. So study of a cell is called as a cytology. Okay, then what exactly is physiology? So physiology is study of functions and activities of organisms and their part. All right, so in that case, so study of functions, what is done, and activities of organism. So physiology is how exactly, all the different parts of the body, like, organism are being used up. So like, what is their function, what activity does that particular organ do, like, does. So that will study under the physiology. So you, like, next you have a chapter where you will study about the plant physiology. Then there is a human physiology. So we are not studying about the anatomy here. So it is only the physiology, like, what is the function of this so and so. So like, there is a heart. So what is the function of that heart? Like how exactly this works. Okay. So let's say there is a kidney. So how exactly kidney works? So that will come under the physiology. So there is a plant physiology, there is an animal physiology which will tell us about the functions and activities of the organisms and their parts. Okay, now embryology, when we mention, so this is study of formation and development of the embryo of plants and animals. So embryo formation you can see in animals. Okay, so but the embryo formation you can even see in the plant. Any idea where exactly embryo formation occurs in plant? Any of you? No idea? So where exactly do you find the formation of embryo? So embryo formation you can see, okay, so that is in plant, so that is mainly in the seed, okay. So let's say there is a seed here, okay, so this one is a seed, so there is a common axis is there, so then you can find a seed here, okay. So this will give rise to a plumule and this one will give rise to a that is radical, so that is a root system. So in that case there will be a embryo here which is actually forming a root system as well as a shoot system by giving rise to plumule and a radical. So that we call as an embryo. So embryo when we mention, so basically baby organism is being produced from the embryo. So this one is forming a baby organism. So now here this one is inside a human where you can see formation of the embryo again which will be growing, so that we call as a fetus later on. So this type growth you can see and that comes under the embryology. So not just with respect to humans, not just with respect to animals, every living organism's embryo is considered. So this is mainly in case of plant, animal, the other animals when we mention, the human when we mention, so you can clearly understand how exactly the embryo growth, embryo growth that is seen, okay. Moving on to the next one, so that is the taxonomy. Any idea what exactly is taxonomy? Any of you? Okay, so taxonomy when we mention, so this is science of naming. Let's say you discover a new organism. Okay, so this is when you discover new organism. Okay, so now you don't know what exactly is the characteristic feature of this one. So discover new organism. So when you discover this new organism, so you have to give it a name, okay. So for that a name should be given, so which is actually based on from where it is taken, a specific name is given. So first you will be studying its characteristics to name it, okay. So first you will be studying the characteristics, then the maybe you can see evolutionary relationship of this organism, okay. So that is the evolutionary relationship is checked. Then you will also check about what exactly is the identity, so identity of this one. So and after that, so basically naming is done, so then you will go for the naming, so identity is done. So in that case, so we'll be studying about these, like what exactly is the organism, their evolutionary relationship. So in taxonomy is basically naming them, grouping them and classifying them. So that is classification itself. So that is identity when I mentioned, so it is basically grouping them into a respective category. So in that case classifying, so not just plants and animal, here anyway it is given plants and animals, every living organism is considered and all of them are classified according to their characteristics. So now this is also called as a systematic. So when do we call it as a systematic? So when the evolutionary relationship is considered, so that is when we'll call this as a systematic. So until then it is just a taxonomy, okay. So now here it is a systematics, because we are trying to find the evolutionary relationship that the new organism that we have discovered, okay. So once the new organism is being discovered, so we don't know from where it is coming, so we need to know the evolutionary relationship there, okay. From whether it was a cockroach earlier and now it has formed something else, like we have now monkey to man, okay. So in that case, what is the case? So that we know we have started to walk, so we have started to walk on only the leg but not using the hand. So then our the back part is also straightened, so we are a lot of evolution has occurred. So same way whenever you discover a new organism, so in that case the systematic is considered, so only when you consider the evolutionary relationship. Then we have a ecology here, so which is basically study of relationship of an organism. So that is to both its living and a non-living environment. So this is, the tree is there. So this is, that you can find a tree. And what is the relationship of this tree to its both living? So it might be like, there might be animal that is coming, the bird that might be coming. So what type of a relationship this organism is having with living organisms? So this can be with respect to living organism, and this can be with respect to non-living organisms as well. Okay, so in that case, this is mainly associated with the functioning. So that is ecology. Then biogeography. So this is study of geographical distribution of plants and animals. So like, what region, what type of a plant you can find. So what region, what type of animal you can find. So basically geographical distribution of the organisms is checked in here. Then there is paleontology, which is the study of prehistoric forms of life that is done through the fossil of plants and animals. Okay, so that means any fossil, any old, like, uh, bone might be available, or maybe a sample from the old creature is available. So in that case, the study of prehistoric forms of life, so that is done through the fossils of the plants and animals is done. Okay, so then there is evolution, which is actually the study of origin and absence of organisms. So absence, like, sorry, descent of organisms. So I'm really sorry. So this is descent. So what exactly is descent again? So in that case, the descent is, when the evolution has occurred. Like what was the previous organism and what is the organism now. So like, we'll be looking at the grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents. So basically descent of the organism and its origin is considered. So to find the origin, we'll have to look for the great parents, great great grandparents and other things. So in that case, it will give us about the evolution, like how exactly this has happened. So then we have, so all right, so let's see some questions and I'll end this session because I have one more class to go for class 10. All right, so father of botany is who? Any idea who is father of botany? Who is called the father of botany? Okay, so father of botany is, Theophrastus. All right, then study of animals is called as zoology. Okay, then we have the other question. So herpetology is study of birds, which is false, because herpetology is study of snakes. The lizards are considered here. Okay, so this could be the lizards as well. So mycology is study of fungi. Yes, this is true. Okay, so there is a guardians batch. So this is all subject batch, which is actually for ICSE class 9. The start date is 1st of June, and that is from tomorrow, and the mode of delivery is English here. So basically PCMB is covered, maths, physics, chemistry and biology are covered. So if you are subscribing for class 9, so you will be getting class 10 to 12 subscription absolutely free. Okay, then we have the community. All right, so in community basically you will get updates about the classes, so never miss any update from your favorite educator. So guest session notes and practice material here, and other than that, share your feedback. So that is directly with the educator via polls. Okay, so check out the link to the educator community below, so you can find the link in there. So now Bucks Bounty. So this is opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. So be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Report any inappropriate content using the form in the description. All right, Any doubt, any of you? So you can join in my channel. So that is Vani Kari, ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology for notes. So you can, so if you want this PDF, maybe you can join in the community. So I'll be sending it there. Alright. So you can join in the community, and the Telegram channel is Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology. So this is Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 biology is biology. Okay, so this is my Telegram, so you can join this Telegram there. All right, so this can be done. All right then, so subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy ICSE and ISC boards. Click on bell icon to get notified about the session. Like and share the video, and download the Unacademy Learners app. Now this PDF anyway I can send it on the community. All right, see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, thank you so much, take care.